Good evening, everybody, and welcome for the first time in 2021 to Tea Time with Matt. Oh yes, where's my applause? There it is. Thank you, everybody. It's great to be back. So, the elephant in the room, the reason we're all here. I'm getting married next week. That's scary. Yeah. It doesn't really feel real. It's a bit odd. Yeah. I'm way out of practice with this, by the way, so I've no idea. I've no idea what I'm doing. As you can tell by the fact that I re-encoded all of my intros and stuff earlier, because the audio's a bit loud on them. And I left Santa Claus in, because apparently it's the Christmas episode. That earns me a fail jingle in a minute. Oh dear, who have we got in the chat room? Five Nights at Freddy's Vision is here, but under the alter ego of the Dalek Supreme. Welcome. Doctorus Prime joins us. Hello. The HMS Hood is here. The entire HMS Hood, or just someone from it? Earthsinger100 says greetings and salutations. Thank you. Congratulations, congrats. And Brenton Cargate's in the chat room. He will be joining us a little bit later on. Hopefully. Good lord, I have bags under my eyes. Yeah, my camera's in full HD. And yeah, I don't like the look of this. This looks terrible. So, what have we got coming up on the show this evening? Well, as I've just said, it is my stag party. So, in time-honoured tradition, we will be asking you to remind me of your most fond, awkward and embarrassing memories of me. From on the air, please. I don't really want to get into what embarrasses you about me in real life, because that would be weird. So yeah, just what you've seen on the internet, that's fine. What else have we got coming up? Well, we have got some common sense advice on how to plan a wedding, and if that sounds familiar, it is. I'll explain why later. We got some alternative facts coming up, some news. I'll be reviewing a classic novel once again, and I'll keep it short for a change. And we'll be doing the weather, and of course we'll have the bedtime story a little bit later on as well. So it's exciting. So, let's roll that down. Get rid of the jingle. Oh yeah, because it's time to get serious, folks. It's time to get serious and start off with one of these.
Fail.
I'm a real failure.
Just to cover all of the unpreparedness and not remembering how stuff works. And also the fact... actually, no, this one gets a separate fail jingle.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
That is because this webcam has decided it's going to fail on me. So, this is what I have been using as sort of my main studio camera, the angle you're seeing me from now. But unfortunately, it's decided that every time you try and load it onto my streaming software in full HD, it locks up. Yeah, not much use. So my main camera is now what I have been using as my close-up camera for when I do like things from the works. And it's the camera that I've done Ask a Dalek live from in recent months. But yeah, it's that's dead. So I've got to write to Amazon later and ask them for a replacement because it's broken. Not a thing you want to discover an hour before you're about to do a live stream show. But never mind. Now, before we do anything else, we've been away for a while, since Boxing Day to be precise. Quite a lot has happened since then. So I'm going to really quickly sum up some of what we've missed through the medium of poetry. This will go horribly wrong. Here we go. We've got a vaccine for COVID-19, but there's people refusing to have it. They won't use sanitizer, prefer horse tranquilizer, and they won't put a mask on, the tits. Over in the US, Biden got into office, Trump supporters all got in a tizzy. They tried to storm Congress whilst waving round nooses, and things got a bit terroristy. A ship ran aground in the Suez Canal, Ever Given caused us all distress. Because we're so reliant on cheap tat from China, like graphics cards, toys or a dress. In July we were perplexed thanks to oil co Pemex, who literally set fire to the sea. A leak in their pipe set the water alight, and the video spread virally. The Olympics took place, there were sports, it was great. Team GB didn't do all that terribly. But there weren't any crowds, and Russia wasn't allowed to compete, but they still did, apparently. We would tell you more, but it's past 8:04 and this segment's already too long. Let's just say things are bad. People dying. It's sad. But I'm bored of this now. Let's move on. I thank you. Yeah, whoever said that 2021 would be an improvement on 2020... Oh wait, that was me, wasn't it?
Fail.
I'm a real failure.
I'm an idiot. That's nothing to do with predicting that 2021 would be better than 2020. That's just a statement of fact. Let's play a song while I sort myself out. This is Paloma Faith and her cover of Make Your Own Kind of Music.
Nobody can tell ya there's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell ya, but it hangs them up to see someone like you. But you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You're gonna be nowhere, the loneliest kind of lonely. It may be rough going just to do your things, the hardest thing to do. But you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. So if you cannot take my hand, and if you must be going, I will understand. 'Cause you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along.
Paloma Faith there, and Make Your Own Kind of Music. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt.
Tea Time with Matt. Because Dunkers do it best.
Right, it's my stag do, so I'm having a drink. Don't judge me. Right. Everyone get a drink of choice. You know, it doesn't have to be alcohol. You know, get a cup of tea if that's your bag. But we are celebrating because I am tying the knot a week tomorrow. In fact, it's scary because I'm I'm convinced there's a million things I've forgotten about, and I keep remembering little things and going, oh crap, I haven't done that. It's like literally, I was at a friend's wedding the weekend. My friend Nathan and his partner Amy got married. Congratulations to them. I'm assuming they aren't watching, but on the off chance they are, many congratulations, and it was lovely. Thank you for inviting me. But I was at their wedding. We got back to the reception venue. I sat down at my table. I was like, oh, this is nice. You know, we got little bits on the table. You know, nice little centerpiece. You know, it's all very nice. The colour's purple, so yeah, this is all looking good. Napkins, crap. And I just completely realised that I'd completely forgotten to check whether we had napkins or not. Fortunately, our catering company is on that, so we are all good. What's going on in the chat room? Well, lots of you saying things. The 16th of September, wasn't it? Says Five Nights at Freddy's. And yes, it is. That is the day of my wedding. Should I say? Okay, yeah, go on. I'll say it. All being well, I might be live streaming the ceremony. Not because I'm a massive egotist, you understand. It's because there are one or two people who would have been coming who now aren't, either for health reasons or because they are stuck at work due to COVID shortages. So for those people, I'm looking at potentially streaming just the ceremony. I'm not streaming the whole day because that's, you know, needlessly convoluted. But, you know, the ceremony itself, I'm going to try and live stream on YouTube. It might not work. If it happens, it will be from my mobile phone via the venue's Wi-Fi. So yeah, you might have that to look forward to, but if not, sorry. That's all I can say. Excuse me. Bren says, we all have bags after 2020. Like, seriously, if you didn't have bags, we'd be concerned. Fair point. I'll take that on board. You snapping your wooden roof twice and me making a meme from it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've done a little montage, actually. In fact, let's play this now, because it seems like an opportune moment. Here is a compilation of some of my most embarrassing moments online. Give us our milk back, you bastards!
So what did we learn from the last 4 hours? Well, wait, come back, I wasn't done. There we go. Deary me. Right, I owe my father one of these because he turned the mains off. Honestly, I don't know. What are we going to do with you? Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, you will plug stuff in the wrong place.
You told me to plug it in there!
You did what I told you?
Yes! Jesus. Anyway, where were we? I think we were doing this. Here we go. Alright, let's get the elephant in the room over with. Yes. I broke my leg. I've got one of these. I'm not gonna lift it up for you to see because it's really, really quite uncomfortable. So, yeah. That will not impair my ability to do the show tonight. So, but it will affect some of the content. The weather, for instance. Yeah, not looking forward to that. Anyway, before we do anything else, though, mainly because I want to get this out the way, we're going to do the weather. Okay, so here we go. This is a Tea Time with Matt weather update. Right, I've got to get my crutch. Oh, I've got to move the screen as well. Hold on. Right. Hobble, hobble. Gee, it'll be finished time I get here at this rate. Right. It's cloudy. That's all you're getting. If you want to let us know what the weather's doing in your area, let me know in the chat room, which is over that side of the screen. Go let me know and stuff. Don't know how much jingle we got left. Ow. Ow. That's better.
The roof, by the way, was a pain to actually put on because it's like a solid thing. Oh. Oops. Oops. The last one was a lot more solid than that. Oh dear. Well, that is extremely annoying.
Terry Pratchett the colour of man. Oh, Jesus. I do apologise for the swearing, folks, but my entire bedroom has just collapsed, so I'm going to earn a fail jingle there.
I'm a real failure.
That is not good. That has gone very badly indeed. Okay, okay, I need to do a few things almost immediately. Sorry, Sorry, as you can imagine, I'm a little bit upset. I do apologise. Where's my camera gone? Right. Okay, I apologise for swearing, by the way. Right, where's my camera? Right, let's put some music on, and I'll try and deal with what's just happened. So yeah, while we're trying to sort this out, let's cross live to our American correspondent. Oh no! Oh, god damn it! So, for those of you who just joined us, folks, I've paused up. Hold on.
Fail.
I'm a real failure.
Oh dear.
That there was a compilation of my most embarrassing moments online. If you can think of any more, do let me know in the chat room. Which reminds me, I do need to catch up in the chat room, so let's have a look. Right, blub, 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 blub. Bren says, there was a bit of awkwardness when we did the 24-hour charity stream, and we had trouble coming up with stuff to talk about. Yeah, around 2 to 5 a.m. was the most difficult, I think. Like the reference to the graphics card shortage, says Doctorus. Thank you. I thought that was nice and subtle. Bren says he didn't get angry when Biden got elected. Maybe an eye roll, but hey, it's politics. I get annoyed when any politician says or does something stupid, which is all the time. Very true. Big shout out to our one listener on TuneIn, says Darren. Hello, listener on TuneIn. You don't get the benefit of the video portion of this, but you are getting this streamed directly into your ears. In fact, hold on. This is just for that one person on TuneIn. If I talk quietly, it sounds like I'm right in the room next to you. Woo, spooky. Anyway, enough of that. This is getting weird now. I don't really know how to end this segment, so I'm just gonna lean back and we're not gonna talk about that again. Yes. Let's see. Give us our milk bit. That's my favourite, says Doctor. This is one of mine as well. Discordia here. I changed my name on YouTube. Sorry I'm late. Welcome, Discordia. Singer says, your wedding will be one of the most stressful days of your life. That's why you need a vacation afterwards. Keep the bride happy and everything else. It will be fine. You will be brilliant. I've already said that I will worry like anything right up until the day of the wedding. Anything that happens after that point, on the day, is not my concern. I don't even want to hear about it. Other people can deal with that. I'm going to enjoy the day. Did the bedroom collapse actually happen, or was that scripted? No, that actually happened. That wasn't a planned thing. That was... yeah. I don't think he's clever enough to script that, says Bren. Rude. The train, yes, love the train. The timing on it was perfect. What happened to the bit where the official inspection officialist sent you an email right when you started? That wasn't that embarrassing, to be honest. Yeah, anyway, we're all caught up in the chat, so let's do... what should we do next? I know what we'll do next. Let's do the weather. Oh dear. Right, half of our CCTV seems to be blocked by things, so we're going to have to do our best here. There's some plant life obscuring my camera on the driveway. Apologies for that. From our front door, you can see there's no precipitation. It is, however, very dark outside. It's 7:30. What's happened to the daylight? Again, this one not very clear. It looks like there's a spider on it, and that's literally got a spider sitting on it. Either that, or this camera is streaming live from the upside down dimension. Yeah. So, in short, I have no idea what the weather's doing, but it is quite warm. If you want to let me know what the weather's doing in your area, let me know in the chat room. Okay, I'm going to play another song now, because I'm in the middle of an Amazon chat that I started while the clip show was playing. So let's play a song, and I'll carry on with that, and hopefully by the time the song's finished, I'll be done. This is Thin Lizzy, and the boys are back in town.
Change had much to say, but man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. I told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town. Chick that used to dance a lot, every night she'd be on the floor shaking what she'd got. Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. I mean, she was steaming. And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't wanna know, forget her. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said, the boys are back in town. You better let 'em. That jukebox in the corner blasting out my favorite song. The nights are getting warmer, it won't be long till summer comes. Now that the boys are here again, the boys are back in town, boys are back in town. The boys are back in town, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town.
Lizzie there, and the boys are back in town. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt, live right here on youtube.com/Tea Time with Matt, or if you're not listening on that, you're listening on TuneIn. And you're only hearing audio, so sorry, you're going to miss most of the visual gags. Anyway, I sort of kept leaning around the, I kept leaning around to see the screen. The reason for that is, I'll bring this out. I've got a, kind of a sound shield on my microphone now. I'm not sure if it's making any difference. I'm sure you guys will tell me if it is. But the problem is, in order to see the screen now, I have to move it all the way back. So yeah, in theory, it should help reduce a little bit of the echo in the room. Although I'm not entirely convinced it does. It's better when I'm sort of recording audio up close, because I can literally just have it there and speak directly into it, and if you hear that, you'll see there's virtually no echo at all. It sounds really, really good. But when I'm doing these, and I kind of want the video as well, there's still a little bit of an echo. But it's fine, it's fine. We'll work with what we have. But yeah, that's why I kind of kept leaning around the screen there. What's going on in the chat room? Weather in my area has been extremely warm, says Doctorus. It's baking out. I'm still feeling thirsty. Hot and cloudy in New Orleans, says EarthSinger100. Oh dear. Yesterday and today was extremely warm for me. 24 to 27 degrees, says the Dalek Supreme. May have drunk half a bottle of milk without issue. Yes, I was dying of thirst. Dalek Supreme also says, it was my birthday 3 days ago. Isn't that exciting? Yes, it is. Happy birthday. Well done. Half of me was like, 2021 won't be as bad, or it'll be the same. Other half, the world's going to have issues and COVID gets stronger. HMS Hood, I'm back. What did I miss? Nothing much. Doctorus, I wasn't expecting 2021 to be the exact opposite of 2020. It was like, let's see how it goes. Boy, it didn't go well. Yeah. 2021's been... sure has been something, hasn't it? It's, yeah. Bit of a weird one. I'm currently on a chat to Amazon, and they're earning one of these.
Fail.
I'm a real failure.
Sorry, I'm just I'll explain what I'm doing in a minute, because I'm getting really irritable now. Right. Okay. So. I went on to the Amazon order where I bought that webcam, and I said, I'd like to return this, please. It then sent me to a chat room, and it said, is there a problem with this order? I typed the problem. It says, sorry to hear there was a problem. This was the robot. We're going to show you options to return or replace. So you click return or replace. It then forwards you to the order, and you go, return this, and it says, we can resolve this in a chat for you, and forwards you back to the chat. So I then go through that again, and then do the options to speak to someone. Who said, yep, I'll check this for you. We have a dedicated team who can help you. Please stay connected. Who then got someone else in and said, I'm sorry to hear you're having an issue with the camera. Can I ask, when did you first experience this issue? I said it's been dodgy for a couple of months, which it has, and it's become unusable today. Have you tried to install and reinstall the software? I have, yes, it didn't resolve the problem. Have you tried to plug it on a different device? Unfortunately, I don't have another device to plug it into. I see. Let me go ahead and further check this for you. Thank you. Let's do this little customer service dance. That's not a problem. But I would like to return the webcam and have a new one, please. Thank you very much, please, and thank you. Goodbye. Yeah. 2022 Electric Boogaloo, says Brent. Yeah, okay. Although surely that would be next year. Oh, goodness me. What else happening? I've built a PC during May this year and I'm animating. That's a plus, right? Right? Yes, it is, Doctorus. Your animations are awesome. Go and check out my other YouTube channel. It's got some animations that Doctorus has done on it. It's really neat. Source Filmmaker. It's the business. good stuff. Aero, that's literally the guy's name, Aero, has gone quiet on me. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe by the end of the show we'll have a resolution. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to play a request. And this was requested by Bren, who we're going to get on after his song. This is Earth, Wind and Fire with September.
Dunkers of the world, unite! It's tea time with Matt!
Earth, Wind and Fire there, and their classic September, and that was for Bren Tenkage. Speaking of which, let's cross live to our American correspondent. All the way from the United States of America, it's my good friend and yours, Bren Tenkage, everybody. Hello, Bren. How are you doing? Anybody there? Bren? Hang on. I can't seem to hear you. That's probably my fault. 1 second. Hold on. That's not gone well. Hold on. Output device. Let's try that one. Hello, Bren.
Hello!
I can hear you! Hooray!
It's a not Christmas miracle!
It's a 2021 holiday spectacular miracle. Let's call it that.
Well, it was Labor Day a few days ago, so let's just call it...
It's a Labor Day miracle! Oh dear. How are you, Bren? How's life?
Trying to lose the weight, still working as a writer for Newbert. I had a crazy summer going through... Okay, quite literally, I have recorded a year's worth of retro games.
Which is mad. I remember you saying that on your Discord, which I'm a member of, but I sit lurking quietly in the corner.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Anyway,
I found a site called Retro Achievements where they use a fan-created achievements for retro games, which goes into their emulator, so you can play, like, say, Super Mario World, and then you get achievements for completing it.
neat.
Yeah, and of course there are some achievements are meme, others are actual challenges. Ones like, Link to the Past, beat these bosses without taking damage, or
Okay, yeah. So,
maybe just even there's even special achievements that you have to willingly unlock, which are stuff for like using speedrunner strats or wrong warping, stuff like that. Crazy stuff you have to be bloody mental to get through.
nice. Well,
So-
yeah,
was
so
crazy.
that's really cool, though, that you are, like, planned with your content a year in advance. I wish I was that organised. I really do.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's because it's literally one video a day,
Okay, fair enough.
and I've recorded so much that I've nearly looped myself. The only reason why I didn't is because I got distracted by RimWorld and the fact that technically it was a year since it started, but yeah.
Fair enough, then. Excuse me. Did I just hear you crack a drink open? Or is that someone standing next to me?
No, that was me. It's
Cool.
Coca-Cola coffee.
Oh,
Surprisingly good.
nice.
Yeah, like you would think. I know when you hear Coca-Cola with coffee, it sounds bad, but they use a good coffee. Like, it's not bitter and it blends well. I'd say give it a shot. They even got it in vanilla if you want to try that.
It's not something I've seen over here, to be honest. But I will see if I can find it in the shops, and maybe that can be a thing we do on our next show.
Yeah, maybe do something like trying different foods, like, foreign stuff.
You know
like,
what? That it sounds like the kind of old school thing I did at university, and I'd be well up for doing something like that again. So
I bet you and your future missus would love to do that.
I'm sure she would. Waiting patiently for the no, I'm not. As the delay on the stream takes place, she is watching upstairs.
Of course,
Of course she is. Indeed.
But seriously, dude, congratulations. You are
Thank you.
You are a step above the average nerd in that. Hey, you're a nerd.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's. Oh blimey. Yeah. No, I'm very happy. It's yeah. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
These past few years, I mean, I was expecting 2021 to get better.
I don't think it was likely to happen, though.
Exactly. I just didn't be like, can we ease up, please?
No. I'm looking forward to next year, 2020 Tokyo Drift. So. Deep joy.
But for me now, for current news, stuff that's really irritating me is, you ever play anything involving Warhammer?
No.
Okay, so you might not be aware, but Games Workshop is doing one of the dumbest things ever.
Oh, I like it when people do dumb things. Go on.
So Games Workshop already is infamous for being a little protective of their IP.
Right.
This mainly is because they had a thing with Blizzard, and the original Warcraft was supposed to be a Warhammer game, but that fell through, and then, well, it became Warcraft and became one of the biggest properties in all of gaming, they don't want that to happen again. So they're very protective.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll already stamp out on any, fan game. But animations was usually one of those, yeah, we're fine with that. Not anymore. They are killing any fan animations, including the very popular The Emperor as a Text-to-Speech device, which actually got me into 40K.
Okay, yeah.
And the worst part is that they're trying to do their own streaming service for, you go into a program and you get special animations because they were actually hiring animators, that were really popular to work for them. And the only way to watch their animations is to do their thing. So they're basically strongholding us to watch Warhammer animations and stomping out the competition.
Capitalism. It is the anti creativity.
No, I would say with capitalism, with a good free market, you could be creative and do whatever. Like, you're not guaranteed to succeed, but you at least have a chance.
Here's the thing, right? If I was in these companies' shoes, you've got people out there who obviously know the subject matter and they care about the subject matter because they're making fan animations of it, right?
Oh, there's some really good ones out there, like starting animation. Mwah.
I can't obviously comment on the quality of the animations. Like I say, not my cup of tea, not something I've really been involved in. But it's
stuff like this. The fan projects is what brings people in because 40K is a very dense thing, and it's hard to get people in. That's why I was scared to step in. It's like trying to step into Doctor Who.
So
history.
So, my view on it is this. You've got these people who are obviously very talented making these animations, and you're hitting them with the lawyer hammer so you can go away and start your own streaming service and make your own stuff. Here's a bright idea. How about you go to these people who are making these fan animations and say, hey guys, loving your fan animation, can we pay you money to make us something? Just a thought?
That's not a bad idea. I mean, and it has worked out. Look at Sonic Mania. That was the guy behind that. He was just a fan making like mods. And now it's like one of the best Sonic games.
There you go. This is true of Doctor Who as well. For those of you who know about Big Finish, who have been doing Doctor Who audio stories for the best part of I think it's 20 years now. They started back in 2001. All of the people who write Doctor Who for Big Finish started out mostly doing fan fiction. That was how they kind of cut their teeth on it. They did Doctor Who fan fiction. And I think Russell T Davies, for instance, Doctor Who fan fiction. Stephen Moffat, to an extent as well, Doctor Who fan fiction. Nicholas Briggs fan fiction. And they've taken that and gone, right, go. The BBC's gone, right, we love your stuff. You've started a production company. Would you like a license to go and make some Doctor Who stuff? And Nicholas Briggs said, yes, please, thank you very much.
It's stuff like this.
Yeah.
I understand Games Workshop's hesitance to I understand suppressing fan games because you don't want to dilute the price. But with
it's competition.
As long as they say we're not affiliated, I never saw a problem. But it's just suppressing out the creativity, and it's already a hard product to step in, especially with how they pretty much dominate the wargame market and overprice their stuff. Like, they're already trying to step against, 3D printers, because, back in the 90s and 2000s, if you wanted the figurines, you had to buy them, but not anymore. They're pretty much... They're pushing away the old fans, and it's going to be harder to get new fans in. And they're already trying to make it less grim-dark. But that's a subject for another day. But let me just put it this way. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't try and make a kid's show out of a product whose tagline is, in the future, there I mean, there is only war, in the grimdark future. I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact line.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't scream child friendly, that does it?
Oh God, yeah, no. Yeah, you can't. Okay, you can make the orcs maybe silly, but like to us, they're hilarious. Like, "Oi, I'm gonna crump ya." But no, like from the perspective of the average citizen, it's like almost an eldritch horror. You don't stop it.
Yeah. It's not ideal.
No.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's the craziness going on with Blizzard Activision. Oh boy.
Yeah.
When you have an employee who has a room that has been nicknamed the Cosby Room, you know something has gone wrong.
Yeah. No, I'd forgotten that was a thing. Yeah, Blizzard and half the game industry at the moment seems to be in trouble because they will keep sexually harassing their female employees.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I may have an issue with feminism, but you know what? I'm with them on that when I say no. That's bull. That is bull. You do not do that.
No, unacceptable. And there is a subset of the gaming community that sit there and go, "Oh, it's just the culture. You know what you're getting into." It's like, no, listen. These are employees. You do not go to your workplace and be expected to put up with, well, any form of harassment, but especially sexual harassment. That's not acceptable in any way.
And when you say that's the culture, but you're basically implying that that's the culture for all gamers, and you're just making all gamers look bad.
Exactly. And to be honest, I'm not a huge gamer myself. I'm not part of a big gaming community, but I know you, Bren. I know a couple of other people sort of in my circle of friends who are gamers, and none of them are like this. None of them.
This is like, it's like looking at like an 80s or 90s nerd stereotype. Yeah, we know some people who are like that, but it's not the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, and then let's see, in other news, well, I could mention something about Chris Chan, but this is a kid-friendly stream, so let's just move on.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, I'm with. Acer Riddles. As a girl who wants to work in the game industry, I do have to say that this whole thing's put me off. But yes, I do not blame you.
No, I don't either. The problem is, right? There is a lot of toxicity, I think, within the games industry, and you can't say, "Oh, it's just the culture." That's not going to fly. This is people who have, a lot of money kicking around, a lot of power within the industry, abusing their position. And it's not okay. Nothing about that is okay.
Yeah. You have, let's see, you have groups trying to push an agenda and dilute, a game and alienate their fans, to big companies who want to squeeze, creativity out just to make the big bucks, looking at you, EA. I mean, I don't blame anyone for being like, I don't want to go into the game industry. And that's why I always appreciate hearing about indie developers who've stepped up and got better than, the AAA.
Yeah, and see, this is why I personally think we should all go out and support independent game developers, because these are normally people who maybe are 2 or 3 people working on it, or at the lower end, 1 person in the bedroom working on a passion project. Go and support those people,
exactly.
because they deserve your money and your time a lot more than these big corporate conglomerates that just churn out this endless parade of games that are all exactly the damn same, with very little originality, and they're all tied up with loot boxes and pay to win TLDR stuff. Yeah, and they're all toxic work environments. There's a lot of I forget what the industry term is. But it's where they basically put pressure on the developers to actually finish your game by a deadline by making them work longer hours for no overtime pay.
Exactly.
You know, and rather than saying game's not going to be ready, we'll delay it by 6 months, they, you know, physically put pressure on them to get it done by the release date. And so it comes out, it's full of bugs, it doesn't work, and it just gives a worse experience for the customers at the sort of at the end of the people buying the product, but it makes their employees' lives hell as well.
Okay.
That's my rant.
That was a bit depressing. You know what? Let's play a song, and then let's go and do the news.
Let's do that, because it's coming up to 9 o'clock, and it will be perfect time for the news. Did we just play Born to be Wild? No, we played September, didn't we? This is Steppenwolf and Born to be Wild. Oh. Is that gonna... Are we gonna... No. Hold on.
Failure?
Yep, failure jingle.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
See, what's happened there is I haven't given my tablet attention for all of 30 seconds, and it's gone, wow, I'm not going to play your music anymore. Here is Steppenwolf and Born to be Wild.
And whatever comes our way, yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space. I like smoke and lightning, heavy metal thunder, racing with the wind, and the feeling that I'm under. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. Like a true nature's child, we were born to be wild. We can climb so high, I never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Get some motor running. Head out on the highway. We're looking for adventure. And whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. And like the true nature's child, we were born to be wild. We can climb so high, I never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild.
Steppenwolf there and Born to be Wild. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt, and I think it was my stag party. I'm sure that was a thing before it all got a bit doom and gloomy.
Such is life.
Oh well. In the chat room, Ace of Riddles says, I've been studying games design for 3 years. A lot of my friends want to start indie teams, so that makes me feel a little better. Good. Go join a nice indie team and make fantastic, artsy, clever content. Don't go and work for a big studio. You'll just end up
Feeling dead inside?
You'll end up designing and animating the horse pooing animations for Red Dead Redemption 3.
Okay, in the defense, that was a very lovely game, and you have to admit the attention.
It's a very pretty game, I'll give you that, but there's such a thing as too much detail,
Exactly. Like, did we really need to see all that?
No. Oh dear. Anyway.
But, honestly,
I don't know what I love more. The idea that, people sat in a room going, we can do this, yep. We can have horses in the game, yep. And they'll have realistic walking animations, yep. And they'll poo every 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah. This is just a case of the people on the business side of things listening to the game designers and just not knowing when to say no.
That or somebody wanted to say, hey, we got to put a crappy mechanic in this game.
Oh, that's bad.
You know what? Give me a fail jingle.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
You're welcome. Anyway, let's leave this rather dark and dismal topic.
Let's talk about news.
Let's do the news. Here we go. There's the news. This is a Tea Time with Matt news update. Our top story tonight. An animal handler attacked by an alligator as crying children looked on has said she loves the reptile and that it should not face any consequences. There's a lot to unpack in that first sentence. Lindsay Bull was left wrestling with the creature after it clamped its jaws down on her hand in front of guests during a child's birthday party at Scales and Tails in Salt Lake City, Utah. Why is that a thing? Is what I want to know.
Where would this take place? In Australia?
No, this is in Utah.
What?
Yeah, Salt Lake City. She was eventually rescued from the alligator. Is everybody sitting down? I'm about to tell you the name of the alligator. She was eventually rescued from the alligator, Darth Gator, after visitor Donnie Wiseman, not making this up, leapt into the water and clambered on top of the animal. Video of the incident was viewed by millions online. But Ms. Bull and the Reptile Centre's owner say it should not come to any harm as a result of the attack. Ms. Bull, who avoided losing her limb after undergoing surgery, said, "We're going to fight as long as we can to keep him. As long as he's in our care and it's our choice, no consequences are going to happen to him. He's just doing what an animal does."
Yeah, okay, that's kind of fair. I mean, I get the logic.
She told Utah's Deseret News, just call it Desert News, guys, we can see what you're going for there, that she had worked with Darth Gator. Dun, 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 dun. No, that's not it. It's a da 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 da. I was doing the funeral march for a second there. For more than 3 years, and that he had been trained to respond to commands, including to allow her to kiss him on the face. "I love him. He's like a member of my family," she said. "That's true of everyone who works here. Everybody loves Darth."
You ever heard of Baby Gator? It sounds like Galaga Laser. I'm not even joking.
Ms. Bull said the attack happened when the alligator became confused because he knew he was about to be fed, saying he mistook her hand for food. For all he knew, it was a piece of chicken, so he grabbed it.
I mean, you're not really confused. I mean, it is technically food.
Shane Richins, Scales and Tails owner, said, I know as long as we have him, he's safe. He was just having a bad day. He added that his permit to own an alligator was under review and that he hoped it would not be rescinded. Animal rights group PETA has called for the business to be shut down. I don't...
because of course PETA has to butt their nose in.
Yeah. They're not great. Although I'm just going to say this. Who thought prehistoric predators and children's parties was a good idea?
I can understand a snake.
Yeah, I can understand a snake, but...
I can understand, like, bearded dragons, or geckos, or iguanas, but a crocodile or a gator is kind of where I draw the line.
Oh, dear. Bren, what's Florida Man been up to lately?
Well, I sent you a message, but,
I think you should have the privilege of reading that one out.
Deputy tases Florida man twerking in the rain during a traffic stop. I mean, should we even say any more? Like, I think I just...
Do?
Like...
Oh, dear. Come on, we need to hear the details of this.
No, I shouldn't. Alright, let me pull it up. Okay. A Florida man who twerked next to his SUV during a rainy traffic stop instead of cooperating with deputies was stoned with a taser, according to news report. Video recorded by a bystander shows that so-and-so, 57, of Crystal River, thrusting his hips at a Citrus County sheriff deputy intervenes on Tuesday in a soggy impromptu performance in the median of State Road 44. The Florida man ignored the deputy's commands to get on the ground and then walk away from them, forcing them to tase him in order to arrest him. At what point, the Florida man taunted a detective, "What are you scared of? I got knives. You got a gun." At one point, removed a knife from his waistband and threw it into the grass. And he was
so it was in the grass. It was no longer a threat at that point.
The grass. He was charged of resisting an officer about violence, fleeing from law enforcement after being ordered to stop in reckless driving. His bond is set at $3,500. I'm just more confused as to why he was twerking at him. Like, was he...
I mean...
Is that a way to show dominance? Because I always thought it was the T-pose to assert dominance.
Florida Man. He's the hero our planet has.
Our planet tolerates. I mean, he's better than Omni-Man.
Cows in Switzerland have been airlifted to the bottom of their alpine meadows in a bizarre spectacle. Not a perfectly normal spectacle, then. Around 10 of the animals were taken by helicopter off of the ridges in the Klausenpass. I'm going to say that again. Klausenpass, it's fun to say, region in the centre of the country. Using a mesh harness, the creatures were suspended by a length of cable below the chopper as they took to the skies. Waiting farmers then used guide ropes to help bring the cows to land safely, before moving them into more conventional trailers. Meanwhile, the more fit and able livestock made their way down the mountainside by hoof. Farmer Jonas Arnold said, "One reason for the helicopter transport is that you can't reach some pastures by car. And the other is that some cows are injured, so they don't have to walk all the way down." That's racist. He added, "I didn't ask a cow how it feels after such a flight, as it could not answer. It's just a cow, but it's only a short distance and it has to keep going. It was only a short, calm flight. I didn't notice any difference between the ones that flew and the ones that walked normally." In total, the herd numbers around 1,000, so only 1% of the group were given some help getting down. They are heading to Ernebunden. Ernebunden! These are all fun names to say. In Switzerland. And are gearing up for the annual cow parade there. Well, All this reporter has to say is this was a very moving story. Let's move on. A rail-crazy couple have tied the knot in their dream place on board a train. It's not me and Victoria. Laura Dale and Jane Magnet travelled on the West Coast Main Line when they first met, so winning a competition to have their wedding on a train was a dream come true. The newlyweds from Surrey beat 150 other entries for the opportunity to say I do on an Avanti West Coast service. The line connects the major cities of London and Glasgow with branches to Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester and Edinburgh. They had hoped to get married nearly 2 years ago, but were delayed by a combination of the COVID-19 pandemic, that was a thing, finances and logistics. After gathering for a champagne reception at London Euston, I cannot think of a worse place to begin your married life, to be honest. Euston is the worst London terminus. Don't at me. It's just true. The pair and 18 guests boarded a Pendolino carriage decorated with flowers. 2 of the guests were Ms. Dale's sisters, who she had not seen since the pandemic began. A wedding breakfast was laid up for people to enjoy before the couple cut their train-themed wedding cake, and speeches were given by friends and family. As a huge train fan, today has been a dream come true, having Jane and our friends and family with us as we celebrated our wedding at high speed, said Ms. Dale. Trains are a huge part of my life. The first time Jane and I met in person, we travelled on the West Coast Main Line to a video game convention in Telford, and we often travel on board with friends to Birmingham Comic Con. The 29-year-old added, Jane used to travel to Birmingham New Street to see her nan, so this route has a real place in her heart, and today will forever take us to our happy place as we think back to the ceremony. Avanti West Coast's Executive Director of Customer Experience, Natasha Grice, said helping the train fanatics celebrate their special day was incredibly exciting and heartwarming. She added, this wedding has been a highlight for our team and will be fondly remembered for years to come. That's a nice story. I like that. It's a good story. If you have any comments to make on any of the stories we just discussed, please let me know in the chat room. That was the news from me, Matthew Warden Farrow, and our American correspondent, Brenton Cargay. That was a Tea Time with Matt news update. Dalek Supreme says, yep, and hello, welcome to the Quality Entertainment with Matt. This is Quality Entertainment. What are you talking about? Dear, oh dear. Right, on with the show then. Let's do another song. What shall we do? There's lots of good ones here. Someone requested a death metal song earlier, so this is one.
Commitment
say this is a gotcha in 2021? Rick Astley there and Never Gonna Give You Up. Very much not death metal. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt.
It's been a long day. Put the kettle on. It's Tea Time with Matt.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, we should really do some content, because we're running out of time to do the content. So let's do some content. What should we do first? I know what we'll do. It's time for another edition of Matt Reviews the Classics. And this week's... Well, not this week, this year, actually, because we haven't done one yet this year. But today's novel is a particularly special one. It's a marriage-themed one, and I'll try and keep this one short. But today's classic story is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. The best adaptation is a Mitchell and Webb sketch. No, seriously. Go and find it after the show's over. It's genuinely brilliant. That was Matt Reviews the Classics, and once again, that one really did go on for far, far too long. I apologise for taking up so much of your time, especially when we have so much content still to get through. But in all seriousness, I've just put a link to the thing I mentioned in that review, which is the Mitchell and Webb adaptation of Rebecca, which was originally made for film by Hitchcock. So... yeah, obviously, I mean, personally, as a television student and media student, I think Hitchcock is massively overrated, along with Tarantino. But, yeah, the Mitchell and Webb version is genuinely hilarious. So, you kind of need to understand the story for it to make any sense, but it is a genuinely funny sketch in its own right. But if you don't know... the story of Rebecca, go and look it up first and then watch the sketch because it's genuinely hilarious. Okay, what's going on in the chat room? We've had a couple of song requests. Vincent, formerly Magnus, says The Bones of You by Elbow is a fantastic song. I'm seeing the band live tomorrow, so I'm in the mood for them. I will get right on that. Let me see. Doctorus has a song request. I'll see if I can find that one for you. Doctorus, what else? This bit is funny every time. Thank you. They're very short. Okay. Excuse me. I haven't got COVID, honest. I've done a test. I've had a tickle in the back of my throat for about a week, and it's left me massively paranoid. But no, it's not COVID. I have had a test done. We're all good on that score. You're safe. You're listening over the internet. Of course, you're safe. You still with us, Bren? I think we've lost Bren. Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Anything from Bren, ladies and gentlemen? No, he's disappeared.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you now. There we are.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Trying to talk, but nothing happened.
No. Okay.
Weird.
Do you want to fill us in on what you were trying to say? Because I suddenly realised you hadn't said anything.
I was trying to say, don't you just hate it when like you're coughing because you swallowed just wrong, and then you feel like, wow, I nearly died because of my own stupidity.
The worst thing I find at the moment is when you get a coughing fit in public. I feel like I feel like I have to publicly say it's not COVID. It's fine. I just got a tickle. It's fine.
Ugh, I know, right?
Oh dear, it's bad, really bad.
I got my vaccine. So,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good job. Get vaccinated, people. Seriously.
I mean, I understand why some people are afraid to get the vaccine, especially since, yes, technically it was kind of rushed out, but I don't think it was like rushed out as in they didn't test it properly. I think it was pushed up the queue because of things that they need to test.
I've read up on this, and there are a number of reasons why vaccine development takes so long, and the main one is that when scientists studying vaccines go away to drug companies and say we need more funding to run tests, the companies will withhold the funding and say do it on 10 people. And they'll give them the funding for that, and then they'll do that, and then they'll put a report together, and 6 months later they'll go back and say, okay, we've run it on 10 people, we now want to run it on 100 people. Ooh, okay, well, do it on 50 people, and then and so on and so on. So it literally can take anything up to a decade or more to actually get a vaccine for a disease done, especially if it's a rarely occurring one. The brilliant thing about COVID was that every government in the world went to the drug companies and went, all of the money for a vaccine as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It got basically bumped up the queue. And
Exactly.
The
second reason
needed it.
Yeah, the second reason it didn't take very long is scientists have been working on coronaviruses because COVID-19 is just one kind of coronavirus. It's not a unique thing. They've been working on a vaccine for coronaviruses for many years because they've been floating around. The common cold is a coronavirus. You know, it's part of a family of viruses. COVID-19 is just like the latest in the coronavirus family, but we use coronavirus as like a kind of a collective term to describe COVID-19. So they've been working on vaccinations for coronaviruses for a very long time. So the building blocks are already there. All they needed to do was get hold of the COVID-19 virus, sequence it, and then I'm not a virologist or someone who makes vaccines. I'm probably getting the science completely wrong. But basically, you take the building blocks of the virus and you build your vaccine on that. But if the groundwork's already been done, it was a relatively simple process to actually kind of move that work across into a vaccine for COVID-19. And they then got to trial it really quickly. They were working on trials, I think, from about June last year. And
there were a lot of government bodies working together on this. This is like one of the few times a lot of government bodies from countries were sort of on the same page.
Exactly. So when people come out and say, "Oh, it's not been properly tested. How did they get it done so quickly?" Just shut up.
I understand.
Seriously, shut up.
You know? It's one of those things where it's like, I kind of understand the fear, and I understand with, like, anti-vaxxers, I understand their reasoning. It's just, even as if it's flawed, it's just more of an ignorance thing rather than complete stupidity.
My issue is not with people who genuinely have questions about it. The problem is, right, a lot of the people who have these questions don't want to listen to the answer. They're like, no, you've been brainwashed by the media, it's all a conspiracy, I'm not going to be a guinea pig. Project Fear, Scamdemic.
Exactly.
Just shut up. Seriously, if and I'm sure there might be some people watching this now who fall in sort of the former category, and I want you to know, I'm not having a go at you if you have questions about the vaccine and, you know, how it works, or even if you're frightened of getting it. You know, I get it, it's scary. We have heard, you know, relatively few, admittedly, but there are reports out there that people have died from complications caused by it. A very small number, but, you know, it would be dishonest of me to say that, no, it's perfectly fine, because, yeah, there are a very small number of people who have developed blood clots and then subsequently died. You know, on a larger scale, there is an issue with, I can't remember if it's Pfizer or AstraZeneca. I think it's Pfizer.
Yeah, Pfizer is like the mix
where people have developed blood clots after the vaccine, and they think there is a link there, but no one's 100% sure because they haven't looked at it properly yet.
Yeah. Again, I'd say it's just between going unvaccinated or taking maybe a slightly risky vaccine. I think I'll go with the vaccine because I'd rather have my body prepped for COVID before the Delta variant becomes too strong, so to speak.
But, you know, if you are scared and you do have questions, you know, go and do your research. And when I say do your research, I don't mean go and read a blog someone wrote called The Truth, who's previously not done anything. Don't get your advice from Right Said Fred. That's all I'm saying. Don't get your advice from celebrities on Twitter who are saying, the Lawrence Foxes of the world, or the Right Said Freds, or any of the other ones who have jumped on the bandwagon of, they're poisoning us. Don't listen to them. Go and actually talk to someone who's qualified and knows what they're talking about.
And I mean, like, look.
And don't take horse tranquilizer!
Yeah, okay, that one, I think that one's a bit blown out of proportion, but people using, like, they're not literally using horse tranquilizers, but something similar. But
ivermectin. It's, you know.
Either way, talk to your to your doctor about this sort of thing.
You all have
what they're doing.
Yeah, you all have access to a local doctor, a general practitioner, as we call them in this country. If you're worried, book an appointment, go and have the conversation. They will be able to fully put you in the picture, and I'm sure they won't mind.
And for the record, before somebody says, well, what about Big Pharma? A doctor follows the Hippocratic Oath, which is do no harm, which would mean trying not to steer you wrong. That would steer you wrong into something that would hurt you in the long run. I feel goes against their Hippocratic Oath.
Absolutely. 100%. And don't believe people...
That rant
yeah. You're right. Let's move on.
What are your plans for you and your fiance for after the wedding?
So we're going on a short honeymoon to the Peak District for 5 days, which is a little area in England that's very pretty and wild and all moorland and bleak, and I like bleak things. Bleak things are cool.
Well, hey, without bleak, all the bright and colorful things won't be as bright and colorful.
Very true. Right, let's have a look in the chat room very briefly. Getting vaccinated tomorrow, says Doctor. It's a bit nervous. You're a man. It's what I like to hear.
We understand.
Yeah, we do. For the Bones version, you avoid the music video version. It cuts the best bit. Probably fine in audio. Yep, that's fine. Already on top of that, Vincent. If you have COVID, you have extreme muscle pain, lack of taste and smell. I know that because my sister got it 3 weeks ago.
My aunt,
that's the typical symptoms. But there are people who have had it and it's present in their system that have experienced nothing. Like a friend of mine, quite early on in the pandemic, she's a nurse, had lost her sense of taste for a bit, and that was it. That was literally the only sign she had it. But
that is the reason why we had to have that, be careful being too close to each other.
Exactly. Because you don't know. You don't. Yeah. You might be carrying it and never experience symptoms. That's why everyone's different. It's
That's why the common cold is so common. You have it a lot of the time without even realizing it, and then you spread it, and then you only notice it when your nose is stuffy.
Doctor says, I'm getting the Pfizer vaccine tomorrow. I hope I don't get blood clots. Well, it's extremely unlikely, but, I'm
That's
sure...
why they make you wait for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you go in, they give you your shot, and then they leave you waiting for a while in case you have a bad reaction. So you don't need to worry about that. And the day after, you probably, I know when I had my first shot, I felt really unwell for like 3 days afterwards.
I was pretty sore in the arm.
Yeah. See, I didn't get the arm soreness. I got headaches, nausea. I felt bloody awful. But if you get that, that's a good thing. It means your body's learning how to fight the virus. That's exactly what you want it to do. So it's not necessarily a bad sign. But, if you feel seriously ill, go to the hospital or ring the emergency services. That's simple. But the risk of that happening is so low, it's not worth troubling yourself over. And the thing is, getting a blood clot is imminently survivable if you catch it quick. So, if you feel unwell, go get treatment straight away. Don't put it off. But,
By the way, speaking of the body fighting a virus, check out the anime Cells at Work. It is really good.
I'll keep that in mind. AstraZeneca is the one with the clots. That's why they denied it for people under 30, says HMS Hood. Yeah, do you know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right. That was AstraZeneca. Sorry, that's my bad. Yeah. I get a fail jingle for getting the vaccines mixed up.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
Right, I am going to do some more content, and then we'll play another song. What content
Sorry
should I
for
do?
turning this a bit ranty.
No, it's fine. This is what I love about this show. We start off with the Stag Do theme, and we go off onto healthcare advice. This is the great thing about this show. Right. Right, let's do some common sense advice. Full disclosure, this edition of Common Sense Advice is a repeat because I ran out of time to write a new one. But this was a good...
We did have common sense advice when it comes to getting the vaccine.
We did give some, yeah, that was new advice, so, put up and shut up. But this was a good one and it's relevant, so we're doing it anyway. So you've convinced some poor soul to marry you. Congratulations! Now comes the difficult bit. You've got to plan a wedding. Ha ha! Don't worry, Tea Time with Matt's got you back once again. Here's Tea Time with Matt's common sense advice on planning a wedding. But to do this, we're going to need a common sense advice sound bed. Step 1. Work out your budget. Weddings are expensive. Traditionally, the bride's family will pay for everything, but that's a bit redundant for couples who aren't heterosexual, and also for so many other problematic reasons. So you'll probably have to rely on the kindness of family and friends while making up the difference yourself. Of course, you could always go on Don't Tell the Bride and get Channel 4 to pay, but that doesn't tend to end well, so I don't recommend it. Step 2. Pick the guests. Guest lists are a contentious issue, and you'll have to think about it carefully. Failing to invite somebody could be considered a major insult, so you have to balance not offending your nearest and dearest with keeping the number of freeloaders after a free meal and open bar, much loved and valued friends and family members, to a manageable minimum. Choose carefully, or if that's too stressful, just elope and get married in secret. In fact, that's pretty good advice in itself. Elopement is what couples have done since the beginning of time. Step 3. Book a venue. Many people like the idea of a traditional church wedding, but there are many other options for couples who feel like being a bit more adventurous. For example, you could get married on a mountain, on the deck of a ship, or at a heritage railway centre. Not that I know anyone who do that. If none of that takes your fancy, you can just book a registry office or get married while skydiving. Yes, people do that. Registry offices. It's the in thing. Step number 4. Sort out the catering. Once your wedding guests have watched you tie the knot, they'll want that free meal and booze I mentioned earlier. For catering, I highly recommend Honest Jeff's catering services and suspicious meat merchants located around the back of Burger King. Jeff will do you a great spread at very reasonable prices. Just remember, if anyone gets ill afterwards, it's entirely down to the alcohol and nothing at all to do with Jeff's suspicious meat buffet option. Step 5. Panic and remember there's way more than 5 things you need to do to get ready for a wedding. Guys, weddings are huge events, like even bigger than the student union stuff I planned back at Mud Radio. I can't do this. Why on earth are you asking me for advice? I don't know what I'm doing. I picked Screw Love to be my best man, for goodness sake. He knows all of my darkest secrets, and he's going to give a speech in front of all of our family and friends. What the hell was I thinking?
Don't forget possibly drunk.
Step 6. Hire a wedding planner. Don't make my mistakes and try to plan a wedding yourself. Get someone else to do it. It's called capitalism, folks. You exchange small pieces of paper for goods and services. Let someone who does this all the time plan your wedding, and then you get to enjoy the good bit, the actual getting married part. Congratulations, and have a long and happy life together. And that was Teatime with Matt's common sense advice on planning a wedding. Yes, I have planned my wedding entirely, well, Victoria and I have planned our wedding entirely by ourselves. We've had help from friends and family, but we didn't get a wedding planner. We've done it all. I designed the stationery. A friend of ours doing the DJing. We've got an outside caterer doing it. Obviously, we've got doing our wedding cake and our meal. We've got a bar company coming, so that's all been arranged. But we've pulled it all together and planned it ourselves. And it is stressful.
Yeah.
So if you're not confident planning stuff like that, don't. Get a wedding planner. It will save you a lot of hassle in the long run, because there's so many little things you realise you've forgotten about.
Look, it's like repairing stuff in your house. You can either try to do it yourself, but if you are not confident, just save yourself the hassle and the extra money and hire a professional.
Exactly. Capitalism. Right, I'm gonna play a song. This one is Vincent, or Magnus's request. It is The Bones of You by Elbow.
So I'm there, charging around with a juggernaut brow, overdrive speeches and deadlines to make, cramming commitments like cats in a sack, telephone burner, purposeful gates. When out of the doorway the tentacles stretch of a song that I know, and the world moves in slow-mo, straight to my head like the first cigarette of the day. And it's you, and it's me, and we're sleeping through the day. And I'm 5 years ago, and 3,000 miles away. Do I have time? None of my caliber stood in the street like a sleepwalking teenager, no. And I dealt with this years ago. I took a hammer to every memento, but image on image like beads on a rosary pull through my head as the music takes hold, and the sicker hits. I can work till I break, but I love the bones of you that I will never escape. And it's you, and it's me, and we're sleeping through the day. And I'm 5 years ago, and 3,000 miles away. And I can't move my arm for fear that
elbow there, and the bones of you, which has apparently got very, very quiet towards the end there. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt. Sorry, that snuck up on me a bit. Not sure what happened at the end there. But whatever. Well, where has my sound bed gone? There it is. Jingles? Where have you gone, Jingles? Jingles! Hello!
Dunkers of the world, unite! It's Tea Time with Matt!
Welcome back, everybody. It is indeed Tea Time with Matt, and it's just coming up to almost 10:15. So we'll be wanting from some of the...
Fail.
I'm a real failure.
Dude, drink. You're not... Dude, ease up on the booze.
It's just Coke. It's fine.
So you say.
Yes. Right. Yeah, just coming up to 10:15. We will be wanting some words for the bedtime story shortly, is what I was trying to say. Did you... Sorry, was that a word suggestion, Bren? I didn't quite hear that.
Sorry, I'm just remembering The Princess Bride.
Okay, what was that again? I kind of lost you in the static there.
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Marriage.
Marriage.
It's that one, that priest with the speech impediment.
Marriage. Oh, right, yeah, yes. I haven't seen The Princess Bride for ages.
I also remember. Have fun storming the castle. You think they can do it? It'll take a miracle. I gotta rewatch that movie. That was a very good movie.
Inconceivable! You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Anybody want a peanut?
Oh, dear. Right.
Yeah, that movie, it's like a more kid-friendly Monty Python. So quotable.
Yeah, basically. Right, chat room. Vincent says, get married in court. I mean, that is the only option for some people, particularly if they're on trial at the time.
Man, that'd be really weird, like, if you were in love with your lawyer and that's how you proposed.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. There's a film in there somewhere.
Florida man might have done that. It feels like something a Florida man would have done.
HMS Hood says, don't get Boris as your wedding planner. Why not? He's planned 3. He should know what he's doing. Or Matt Hancock, he's had his play already. Oh. I did try and squeeze that into my poem, but I couldn't find anything to rhyme with adultery. So, dear oh dear. Yeah, I did have a rather clever. Paragraph in mind for Matt Hancock, but I couldn't make it work, so I gave up. Let's see, this song works really well with the visuals. It does! It really does. Beautiful vocals on that track. Yeah, really nice. Matt loses it. Wait, Coke? Yes, Coke.
You know, I once did go to a restaurant and when I say, hey, you got Pepsi? It's like, no, we have Coke. I actually went, okay, I'll have 2 kilos then.
Joe, I can picture you doing that as well.
I got a smack in the back of the head by my mom, actually. My dad actually chuckled.
Did the waiter laugh, is the question.
Yeah, the waitress actually had a good chuckle.
Okay, that's alright then. Okay.
It embarrassed my mom.
Well, that's the son's job to embarrass their mum. Hi, Mum, I'm doing this again. Yeah.
Okay, we got flowers, Dalek, and gentrification.
Gentrification, that's a nice word.
Oh, and ring. And toggle.
Toggle. I like that, toggle.
That is a good word.
Yeah.
Some words just roll off the tongue real nice. Like scuba. Toggle.
Ooh. Sorry, this is thoroughly unentertaining, I'm sure. Let's do our last feature because we're rapidly running out of time.
Joke.
Go on,
What
what's
are
the
the
joke?
3 rings of marriage?
Go on.
The engagement ring,
Yeah.
the wedding ring, and the suffer ring.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
I said it was a bad joke.
You did, I'll give you that. Okay. Imagine, if you will, that you're in a pub. Just an ordinary pub with a bar and a landlord and a random object nailed to the wall. Ordinary pub. Then a stag pushes the door open, trots up to the bar and says, "Pint of Foster's, please, mate." Someone on the other side of the pub, wearing a camera polo shirt, spits out their mouthful of real ale. The landlord pulls the stag his pint of Foster's and says, £7, please. You know, we don't get many stags in here. The stag says nothing, but starts to rub its antlers on the side of the bar. The atmosphere is now extremely awkward. And you've just noticed that the random object nailed to the wall is a GCSE necromancy textbook. You flip over the beer mat on your table to reveal there is a handwritten note on the back. It reads, "Welcome to Tea Time with Matt's Alternative Facts."
Well, that just got weird.
Yeah, you guys thought this was over. It's not. It's never over. Stag parties were invented in 1466 by Lord Ernest Stag as a way of ritually humiliating people he defeated in battle. The victim of the humiliation would be taken to a drinking establishment where they were forced to drink copious amounts of alcohol, while people told embarrassing stories about them and dared them to do stupid things like drink a pint of everything the establishment served. The only surviving member of the 60s pop group The Stags is current President of the United States, Joe Biden. The group had several hits, including Dance Like a Bear, Imitatable Behaviours, and Dance Like Nobody's Watching and Try Not to Think About the Consequences. The band split up in 1969 due to bass player Buzz Aldrin leaving the group to pursue a career in astronauting.
Yeah, he didn't get really far with that, unfortunately.
Nah, only as far as the moon. Stag parties are banned in the city of Portsmouth. I assume it's a city anyway. This is entirely due to the events that took place on the evening of the 21st of September 1926, when geologist Henry Tippel's stag party with his friends and colleagues at the Dog and Duck got out of control and resulted in them accidentally breaking off a chunk of southern England. The large chunk of land drifted away from the newly formed Portsmouth coastline and became the area now known as the Isle of Wight. Prime Minister Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson only became Prime Minister as a dare at his second stag party in 1993. The dare was proposed by Harold Portlingly Smitherington, a fellow journalist of Boris's at the Daily Waffle. When Boris became Prime Minister in 2019, Harold reportedly told journalists, "I honestly didn't expect it to go this far. I expected the joke would wear off by the time he was re-elected as London Mayor, but the stupid plebs just keep voting for him." Despite the male of the species literally being called a stag, red deer are the only species in the animal kingdom that do not traditionally hold stag parties. This is because they consider the practice common and would much rather hold a small cheese and wine tasting party. Also, red deer do not get married. Out of the whole animal kingdom, badger stag parties are universally acknowledged to be the most wild. The last great badger stag party, celebrating the upcoming marriage of Stephen Brock, was held in May 2009 and resulted in the creation of a large tunnel between Liverpool Street Station and Old Oak Common Depot. This tunnel would later become Crossrail. And that, folks, was the long-awaited return of Tea Time with Matt's Alternative Facts. Hold on a second. No holes opened up in the space-time continuum this time, we're good. So, coming up next, it's probably going to be the bedtime story, looking at the time. So we've got our words. They are... Drop my pen. They are marriage, ring, flowers, gentrification, toggle, and the bonus word is Dalek.
Well, things are about to... This is going to sound like a weird Doctor Who special.
You guys don't like making this easy for me, do you?
Welcome to your life.
Oh dear. Doctorus, I haven't got any of your song requests to hand, remind me of them and I will play one at the end of the show. Ace of Riddles. I missed alternative facts. Yeah. Oh, you've missed it. Right. Yeah. It's how we keep the world sane. These are bordering on utterly random, but Matt says them with such a strong belief in what he's saying being true. They are true. They're not made up. I keep telling you guys this. These are all perfectly true facts. I don't know what on earth makes you think that they aren't. Right.
I'm watching South Park because the world has already gotten so crazy. I don't need a parody.
Dear, oh dear. Right. Got our words. I'm going to go away and try and put something together out of this, this mess. Here's Guns N' Roses and Paradise City. Guns N' Roses there, and Paradise City. Hell of a song, that. I really like that song.
Yeah. I'm not that big a fan of heavy metal, but Guns N' Roses is definitely a good band.
They are! Brilliant.
Yeah.
You're listening to Tea Time with Matt.
Coming to you live with a cuppa and a biscuit. It's Tea Time with Matt.
Right, it's time for our bedtime story, folks, because it's nearly 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to play Your Request, Doctorus, and then we're going to wrap up the show, because I know it's my stag do, but I can't go all night because I've got stuff to do in the morning. I know, I suck. My actual stag do was it last week? Yeah, it must have been last week. Yeah, I had my actual stag do last week. And apart from Angela, the co-writer, everyone else had gone home by 10. So, never mind. Right, bedtime story, folks. So, what have we got in the words? We have got marriage, ring, flowers, gentrification, and toggle. And the bonus word, Dalek. This is going to be good. The Tired Scott says, I'm here now. Sorry for my absence. I was at a model railway club. I had fun and I feel great. Excellent. I need to join a model railway club again. I haven't been in one for ages. Come to think of it, I think our local one's shut. Perhaps I'll join the Stantonbury one. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Anyway, my friend Dick's got a model railway and that's quite extensive. That's technically a club. Excuse me, dear oh dear. I should probably have water rather than Diet Coke. Never mind. Right, so. Bedtime story. Where's the sound bed? There it is. This is Tea Time with Matt's bedtime story. Once upon a time, there was a Prime Minister called Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. No, that wasn't an alternative fact, that is genuinely his name. Boris had just proposed to his girlfriend, Carrie, who he'd been sleeping with when he was with his second wife.
Of course.
Of course. Carrie had delighted him by saying yes, because she was pregnant, and Boris knew that he had at least 72 other children to support, so he'd better marry this one, so she would actually pay for something. In planning the wedding, Boris went out and examined many different wedding planners, until he found the one that was just the right amount of competency for the smallest amount of funding. And so Boris and Carrie met with Honest Jeff's Wedding Planners Incorporated at number 10 Downing Street. Hello, said Honest Jeff. Obviously, marriage is a very important part of a person's life, and we here at Honest Jeff's Very Honest Wedding Planners Incorporated are here to make sure that your day is particularly special and everything. Yes, whiffle, waffle, something in Latin, said Boris. Where would you suggest in terms of venue, Latin phrase, whiffle? Honest Jeff looked through his booklet. Well, there's the Toggle and Miss pub in Peckham. Peckham? I can't be seen dead there. Whiffle, waffle, carpe diem, Latin, what? Said Boris. But Peckham's great now, said Jeff. It's undergoing gentrification at the moment. Absolutely not. No way. Bloody good joke. Waffle, whiffle, pish, something. Right, said Jeff. Westminster Cathedral, then? Yes, whiffle, affirmative in Latin, whiffle, said Boris. Righto, said. Now, have you chosen rings? Fleet Street something with, said Boris. The narrator really liked doing Boris's dialogue because you could say any old nonsense and it would sound like it was part of the script. I see, said Honest Jeff, and made a mental note to nip down to the pawn shop at the end of the day. The weeks and months passed, and it was time for Boris and Carrie to meet with their flower arranger. Boris took them to a lovely little flower shop in Hackney. They entered the building, and the flower arranger was a little bit different. Welcome to my flower arranging shop, said the Dalek. What? Is this a joke, Wiffle Waffle? Daleks do not joke, said the flower arranging Dalek. What would you like for your special day? I can do daffodils. Exterminate daffodils! Boris and Carrie looked at each other confused. Illegal alien, immigrant, English jobs for English people, waffle, Latin, said Boris. That's extremely racist, said the Dalek flower arranger. If you do not want my services, you can leave! Leave now! Obey, or you will be exterminated! And so Boris fired Honest Jeff and decided to plan the wedding himself. Several weeks later, Honest Jeff released a video of Matt Hancock snogging his advisor and plunged the government into chaos during a global pandemic.
Well,
the wedding went without a hitch, though. But, apart from the actual hitch, as in Boris and Carrie got hitched. It was a lovely ceremony, and hardly any journalists showed up. And as for the flower arranging Dalek, we'll be hearing more from them another time. No, you won't! I'm retiring! Okay, we won't be hearing from them again. The end! That was Tea Time with Matt's bedtime story. Best money I've ever spent on the ring modulator.
As we all know, Daleks aren't racist. They equally hate all race.
Exactly.
All human. It doesn't matter what your skin color.
Exactly.
You're all pathetic compared to them.
And frankly, Boris should have been supporting interplanetary immigration and the jobs it was creating. So, boo,
Exactly.
Boo, Boris, boo.
Although, I mean, they are aliens, so you should check to make sure they aren't illegal aliens, just alien aliens.
You don't. Sorry, hang on. I've turned the ring modulator on, but I haven't faded it up. Let me try that again. You can't get much more illegal than the Daleks.
I was gonna say the Cybermen; those are totally illegal. Daleks, they feel a little less illegal.
Cybermen, where they will be exterminated. Obey.
They're working for Honest Jeff's tech department.
Exterminate Honest Jeff!
Actually, that would make me laugh. If Honest Jeff freaking Cybermen working tech support.
Oh, God.
What would be the story of that?
Doctor asked, what ring modulator was it you used? It's an actual one. It's a Muga Fuga ring modulator. It's the one that Nicholas Briggs uses. It's a physical box thing. And it's I don't know why, but for some reason the settings have worked really well this evening. The voice weirdly sounds particularly good tonight. Because I'm talking like this. Exterminate! Exterminate! I'm going to stop now because it's after 10 and people are trying to sleep.
That and it's Killer on the Throat.
That too. Oh dear. That's the best use of my flower word suggestion, oh my god. Thank you for your word, Ace of Riddles. Right, We're going to play your song now, Doctorus, and then we're going to wrap things up. This is Charlie Parker and Leapfrog. I think this is the right one. If I've got it wrong, please tell me. Enjoy. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt, and apparently that was the wrong song, but it was quite a good one anyway. No, not yet, The Strokes. You were not asked. We did not ask you to contribute at this time. Anyway, before we go, I do have to give Amazon one of these. Aero has very kindly, despite the fact that the webcam is out of warranty with Logitech, arranged to send me a replacement webcam free of charge, and all I've got to do is return the old one. Result!
Yeah! It really is a belated Labor Day miracle.
Sorry, what was that, Bren?
It really is a belated Labor Day miracle.
It is! It's a belated Labor Day miracle! Oh, dear. I've enjoyed this. This was fun.
It was fun to get back into doing this.
It is, yeah. I don't know when the next one's going to be. Without wishing to get too depressing, the life situation is complicated.
Let's be honest, 2020 and 2021 threw a wrench in a lot of things, but the fact that we are able to do it occasionally is a treat for us all.
Absolutely. Too right.
Yes, I will be back for the next one. I may be a little introverted and haven't exactly been the most, I haven't shown up the most, but come on, I gotta support my buddy.
Hey, I love you too, man. Right, so for the very last time as a single man, we're going to have to wrap up the show, and to do that, we're going to need the long jingle. So what did we learn from the show this evening? Ring modulators are fun. We learnt that you guys are awesome as always, although we didn't need to learn that because we already knew that. We learnt a lot of interesting facts about stag parties. We learnt that I'm surprisingly mediocre at poetry. I'm not on the level of Vogue on poetry, so that's a good start.
Very established dominance in Florida.
Yes. Indeed. We learnt that cows are fine with being helicoptered off mountainsides. And we learnt that Daleks make fantastic flower arrangers. So all in all, I think that has all made it worthwhile. So thank you very much for joining me. I hopefully will be back soon. I don't know when, but I will be back. It will probably be... well, let's not promise anything. There will definitely be something at Christmas. Which reminds me, I have a Cult of Scratchwood episode to write and film, because I still haven't done that. Oops. After the wedding. That's stuff to do after the wedding. Any final thoughts, Bren?
Seriously, have a good wedding, and I hope the honeymoon goes well, and
Thank
I wish
you.
the best of luck to you and your future wife.
Thank you very much indeed. Like I say, I may stream the ceremony if I can get it working. That will be at midday on Thursday the 16th of September. Keep an eye on the Mataf Productions YouTube channel. If I am able to do it, the link will appear there either the day before or sometime on the morning of the 16th of September. So if any of you are free, feel free to tune in and come and see Victoria and I say our vows, because it'll be nice, and I'd love to share that with you all. Yeah. So apart from that, thank you very much. Until next time, thank you very much for tuning in. Take care. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.
Up on his horse, up on his horse, not gonna wake up here anymore. Listen, time, it's not the truth, it's just a story I tell to you. Easy to say, easy to do, but it's not easy. Well, maybe for you. Hope that you find it, hope that it's good, hope that you read it, think that you should. Cuts you some slack as he sits back, sizes you up He's at the door. When he gets back, he's on the phone. Innocent eyes, innocent heart.